Nomadic Elephant is an annual joint military exercise between India and Mongolia aimed at strengthening military cooperation, particularly in counterterrorism, peacekeeping, and special operations. This year's exercise runs from May 31st to June 13th, 2025, lasting 14 days, and is held in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. India sent 45 soldiers, and Mongolia sent 150, totaling 195 personnel, a small scale not reaching a battalion. Due to Mongolia's restrictions, influenced by China and Russia, foreign armies cannot bring heavy equipment into the country, so India cannot showcase tanks or artillery. The equipment includes India's homegrown Rudra missile and Mongolia's outdated T-72M1 tank variant, with low technological sophistication. The exercise focuses on urban combat, counter-drone operations, cyber warfare, and peacekeeping, covering various modern warfare scenarios. But some critics call it flashy and superficial. People in the comments section have long asked me about the India-Mongolia joint exercise, but I haven't paid much attention because this exercise has existed for years, is routine, and has little impact. Mongolia is sandwiched between China and Russia and has historically been controlled by either China or Russia. After the Soviet Union's collapse, Russia's influence in Mongolia declined, but the Mongolian regime is reluctant to align closely with China, seeking a third neighbor. I don't know what's in the minds of Mongolian leaders. Mongolia has no route to bypass China and Russia, so how can it connect with a third neighbor? Who is this third neighbor? If it's the US, China and Russia won't agree. If it's India, what can India offer Mongolia? India is one of the world's orphan nations, with no true friends. If India and Mongolia allied, it could be called the World Orphan Alliance. The Bharat Empire, as we know, is stuck in its dream of being a global superpower, failing to focus on building its own strength or finding allies with shared interests, like the stable alliance China and Pakistan built through long-term mutual help. Instead, India chases shortcuts, sometimes supporting Russia, sometimes leaning toward the West, sometimes joining the global South, and sometimes fantasizing about a free trade zone with Europe. Such a vulture nation has no credibility globally and earns no respect from anyone. Mongolia urgently needs industrial equipment and mineral extraction technology, which India cannot provide. Even if India could produce them, how would it transport them? Even the US can't do it, let alone India. Mongolia's minerals can only be exported cost-effectively through China's railways and ports, and only China can fully absorb Mongolia's mineral output as a single nation. If Mongolia wants to develop its economy, its only choice is to form a mutually prosperous economic alliance with China. Many people don't know that there are 10 million Mongols worldwide, with 6 million living in China. China's Inner Mongolia Autonomous Region far surpasses Mongolia in both population and economic development. The descendants of the Golden Family, the true inheritors of Mongol culture, are in China. Today's Mongolia, called Outer Mongolia, has always been a peripheral branch. After centuries of cultural integration during the Qing dynasty, Mongol nobles intermarried with the Qing royal family and adopted Tibetan Buddhism as their main religion, deeply embedding themselves in China's politics, culture, and history. Later, when the Soviet Union became a superpower, Stalin forcibly occupied Outer Mongolia, compelling China to recognize its independence. Losing Outer Mongolia is not only a pain for Mongol compatriots, but also for all 1.4 billion Chinese people, as it greatly shortened the distance between Beijing and the border, compressing China's strategic buffer space. If China wished, it could deploy Inner Mongolia's armed police and reclaim Outer Mongolia in a week. But China's foreign policy has been consistent for decades, respecting Mongolia as an independent nation and its territorial integrity. Thus, China has never infiltrated or supported proxies to control Mongolia's regime. Chinese people now focus on building their own country, not occupying more land. We note that on June 2nd, 2025, Mongolia's parliament held a no-confidence vote. Of 126 seats, only 88 participated, with Ayunurden receiving just 44 votes in favor, 38 against, and 42 abstaining, failing to secure the 64 votes needed to stay in office, forcing his resignation. This shows Mongolians are increasingly focused on improving their living standards and unwilling to be manipulated by elitist populism. China's stance on Mongolia is simple. Chinese people won't interfere in Mongolia's internal affairs. Mongolians can choose their leaders freely. If Mongolia wants to be friendly with China, we can make money together. If it threatens China, it risks being occupied. Honestly, I've always scoffed at the Mongolian government, but considering China has many Mongol compatriots, including one of my favorite singers, Tunger, and one of my favorite food bloggers, Anka, I rarely make harsh comments about Outer Mongolia. After all, the term Mongol belongs to them too. If we count one person, one vote, they are the majority shareholders, the true Mongols. As for India, those who follow my channel know its role is to provide enough emotional value for my audience, letting everyone discuss politics with an entertainment mindset. I'm very grateful to the Bharat Empire and Modi fans for their long-term guest appearances. Jai Hind.